So we're going into day 3 of Pilates Flow Series 5. Okay, so we're still doing our 2 liters water every day or thereabouts. We're adding our glass of hot lemon, ginger, honey, and you can add cayenne pepper. Katrina, you've said that you're adding apple cider vinegar. The other thing that people are talking about adding, and I haven't tried it, is turmeric. So turmeric and turmeric powder is apparently really good for inflammation. So it's anti-inflammatory. So, you know, anybody that maybe wants to try the turmeric, just see how it feels on your body as well. Okay, so guys, what you're gonna need today for class is again, just your mat, and then you might need like a pillow or a bolster or a towel, something that you can sit on or put underneath your head for some of the postures and the movements. And we're going to be starting in a seated position, and we're going to review a little bit of the conscious breath work that we did yesterday, but I'm going to add in a little bit of information for you as well today. So I need to sit on a block just to get myself out of my hips a little bit, and it doesn't matter which leg you have in front. Just sit in the most comfortable position for yourself, and if this doesn't feel good, then just put your legs however feels good for you. Pull the flesh of your bum out the back. Make sure that you're sitting up on top of those sit bones as comfortably as possible. Let your hands rest down onto your knees, and then just start to spiral your spine gently from side to side. And you don't want to force it. Just use your hands gently to guide yourself. A little bit of a twist side to side. And then come all the way back to the center. And then let's just do a little bit of a tilt from side to side. So you're getting a little bit of movement through the ribs, a little bit of lateral flexion of the spine. And then come all the way back to the center, and then just tilt your head from side to side. So now you're going to get a little bit of a release and a little bit of a stretch down the side of your neck. And then bring yourself back to the center. Find a little bit of height through your spine, softness through your belly, and allow your eyes to close or to soften your gaze and turn your eye line downwards. And keeping your lips sealed, we're going to be breathing in and out through the nose. And perhaps just for the first few breaths, taking deep inhale and long exhale. Relaxing around your eyes, relaxing through the neck and shoulders, through the hips and through the lower back. And then still breathing in and out through the nose, just let your breath become a little bit easier. And we're going to start with 1 round of counting from 1 to 10 with our breath. So we inhale gently for 1 and exhale for 2. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 4. Keep taking it up to 10. And when you have finished that first round, just let go of the counting and stay with that rhythmic breath. Bringing your awareness on each inhale to the cool air running over your top lip. Keep that awareness of your breath. And now start to observe with each exhale the warm air running out over your top lip. If your mind starts to wander, just observe and then call yourself back, noticing each breath in and out. Keeping this awareness just for a few more moments. Again, staying with this breath in and out through the nose, allowing your eyes to remain closed or soften gaze. Start to move your awareness down to your belly. Become aware of that soft release of the abdominals every time you breathe in. Becoming aware of the weight of your pelvis on the ground every time you exhale. And keeping that awareness of your belly. Perhaps just start to notice how you are feeling on this Sunday morning. And the soft area of our belly often holds a lot of our emotions, so just allow them to be there. Don't push them away. Just observe them. No judgment. Taking just a few more breaths in and out. And taking one more deep, full breath in. Open your mouth and sigh. And then keeping your eyes closed, just allow your hands to float up off your knees. And then turn the palms of your hands to face towards each other. And start bringing your hands closer to each other. And start to notice your own energy or your magnetic field or your aura, or whatever you would like to call it, your energetic body. And just notice that connection between your two hands before they even physically connect. Notice perhaps today if it has a color, if If it's hot, if it's cool. Does it have a texture? And then continue to press your hands towards each other. Keep pressing them in. You might be surprised at how long it takes before you can physically feel the palm of your hands. And then start to rub your hands together lightly, feeling that warmth, feeling that heat. And then take your hands, cup them over the fronts of your eyes, just over your eyeballs, and then start to blink your eyes open. Just let the daylight come in slowly. And then reaching both hands all the way up. And then placing your right hand to the ground. Let's just do one long side stretch over. So you're getting that stretch down the left side of your body. Come all the way up. Reach both hands all the way up again. Reach up. And then placing your left hand to the floor and a long side stretch over. Come back up to the center and one last time, breathing in, reaching all the way up. And then exhale, open your arms nice and wide, open your mouth and sigh. Roll your shoulders back and around. And I'm sitting on a block, so I'm just going to hop off it for a second. And you're going to bring your knees and your feet up. I'm going to turn sideways so that I'm going to be sitting lengthways on my mat. And we're going to be rolling onto our backs just in a second. Arms are extended out in front of you. Take a breath in. Exhale, curl the tail under. And we start to roll all the way back. Seeing if you can control the movement. If you need to help yourself with your hands, feel free. And then reach the arms all the way overhead. Big circle with your arms. Lift your head up. And then breathe out as you curl forward and up. So you really got to connect the core. Lift up tall. And again, using your breath. Start to notice the connections of your feet to the ground. Make sure that the heels stay down. It doesn't matter if the toes lift up. Reach the arms back. Big circle. Lift your head. And coming all the way up and forward. Lift up tall. We're going to do one more time. Using your breath. Feel your feet connecting to the ground. Reach back. Draw a big circle with the arms all the way around, but this time you're going to stay here. Put your arms beside you and just walk your feet a little closer in towards your bum cheeks. Keep your knees and feet slightly apart. We're going to be going into our pelvic curl. On your breath, tilting the hips and start rolling up towards the sky. So as you bring your pelvis up, I want you to find that lovely squeeze with the bum cheeks and the opening at the front of the hips. And then start to melt down through the spine. Feel the imprint and release. Make any adjustments to your position that you need. Let's do that again. Tilting hips. Getting that articulation of the spine. See if you can keep your neck nice and easy, shoulders easy. And ripple through the spine. Consciously, deliberately placing yourself to the ground. And release. Now we're going to do a little add-on. Roll your hips up. Getting that lovely squeeze from the base of the pelvis. Now hold it here. Hover your arms and just make sure that you've got balance. And then take the arms all the way back overhead. And you can let them touch the floor if you wish, otherwise you can hover them. And then roll down through the spine. If you need to bend the elbows or take the arms wider for any shoulder issues, then do that as well. When your pelvis settles, bring the arms all the way back. And we go again. Tilting hips. Stay here for a moment. Hover your arms, test balance. Your arms float all the way back. And then we ripple down through the spine. Feel that opening through the chest and the shoulders. And then your hands come all the way down. We're going to do another little add-on. Roll your hips up. Double check that you've got all 10 toes connected to the ground. So if you need to move your feet, feel free to do that. Hover your arms, reaching the arms all the way back overhead. Roll down through your spine. Just let your pelvis settle for a moment. Now just bring your hands up to the sky, nod your chin, and then breathe out as you come up into a little bit of a chest lift. So there's energy through the fingertips. And then put your hands down and lower your head and shoulders all the way back. From the beginning, tilting your hips up. Pause here for a moment. Really root into your feet. Hover arms, reaching them all the way back. Find ease through the neck and shoulders, and we ripple down through the spine. Finding that imprint into the lower back and releasing the pelvis. Lift your arms, nod your chin, breathe out, and feel the ribs sliding forward. Place your hands down and releasing all the way down. We're going to do one more little add-on. Tilting hips and rolling up. Pause at the top, bringing the arms overhead. And then down through the spine you come. Lifting your arms, nod your chin. Breathing out as you curl forward, and I want you to stay here. Take that left arm up and over and place it on top of the right hand. You've created a little rotation with the upper body. Bring the left hand back to the center and over to the side. Right hand comes up and over. Keeping your pelvis stable and come back to the center. Hands down, lower head and shoulders. And just releasing any tension through the neck. Tilt your hips, rolling up. Pause. Hover your arms and reaching them overhead. Work your way down through your spine. Bringing your hands up to the sky. Nod your chin. Curling head and shoulders forward. Stay there. This time the right arm comes up and over first. It lightly touches the left hand. Come back to the center. Keep the height of your head and shoulders. Left hand comes up and over. Come back to the center. And hands down. And lower head and shoulders all the way down. We're going to do one pelvic curl and we're going to stay up. Tilting hips. And we're going to stay right here. Take your hands and lightly cup your bum cheeks. Don't hold yourself there. Make your bum work. Start to put a little bit of pressure onto the right foot. Wake up the right gluteal. Put more pressure. Wake up the abdominals. Put more weight on the right foot. And if you can, pick up the left leg. Stay here for 3, 2, wake up the right bum, 1, and place the foot down. Stay for a moment. Put a little bit of pressure on the left leg. Feel the left gluteal. Put more pressure and double check those abdominals. Put all your body weight. Can you pick up the right leg? Hold it for 3. Wake up gluteal. 2, 1. Placing your foot down. Release your hands. Roll down through the spine. And settle just for a moment. We're going to do a little add-on. Tilting hips, rolling up. Finding that squeeze into the gluteals. Now you can use your hands if you like or keep them down. Start pressing into the right foot and see if you can pick up the left leg and hold it in the air. Let your hips come a little bit down and then squeeze up again. A little bit down. Squeeze up. Make sure it's not your lower back doing the work. Make sure it's the gluteals. Lift from the base of the pelvis. Hold. Placing the left leg down. Picking up the right leg. Hold. And lower the hips a fraction. And squeeze up. Gluteals working here. Your arms are helping you stabilize. One more. Press up and hold. Placing the right foot down. Take a breath. Roll down through the spine. Imprint and release. Hug your right knee to your chest and stretch the left leg all the way out. Move your hands behind the right leg. Flex your ankles. And on your breath, stretch up through the heel. And release. See if you can keep your pelvis heavy. Keep your head and shoulders heavy. And getting that stretch into the back of the leg. And as I've said before, make sure that you're not forcing it. If your leg doesn't want to straighten, but you're still getting a stretch, then that's great. One more time. And press. Now stay here just for a moment. We're going to point the feet. And we're going to flex. We're going to point. And we're going to flex. One more time, point. And we're going to flex. We're going to stay here. Tuck your chin and curl your head towards your knee. Stay just for a moment. Take a breath in. So you've got a complete stretch of the back line of the body. And then lower your head. And release. Placing that right foot to the ground and bring that left leg in. Slide the right leg along the floor, flex your feet. Breathing out as you extend. And release. Moving with your breath. And we're going to take one more. Press up and hold it here. Pointing your feet and flex. And again, point and flex. One more time. So this is adding a little bit of a neural glide. And flex, hold it, nod your chin, curl your head and shoulders forward. So you're really getting that rounding of the spine, releasing the back line of the body. Take your head and shoulders all the way down. Point your feet. And now just put your left leg down and stretch your leg all the way out. Squeeze your inner thighs together. You can point the feet or flex, doesn't matter. Bring your hands just up to the ceiling above your chest. Now, if you need any kind of support under the lower back, do so because we're going to go into a roll-up. Lift your head, look forward. Using your breath, we're going to go all the way over as far as you can go. And then roll yourself back down. Squeezing inner thighs. And hands just go up to the ceiling. Don't take them overhead. Now, take your arms a little bit wider. So maybe the width of your mat. Lift your head and look forward. Breathe, keeping the arms wide. All the way over you go. Take a breath. And then exhale, back you go. Still keeping the arms the width of your mat. And take your head down. Keep the arms up above your chest. Can you take your arms a little bit wider? So this is a challenge here. Lift your head, look forward and breathe, keeping those arms nice and wide. All the way over you go. And exhale, roll down. Squeeze inner thighs, firm bum cheeks. And lie back. Now take your arms into a Boeing 747 position and see if you can roll up without flapping your wings. See if you can keep them wide. Here we go. Inhale, lift your head, breathing it out. Ooh, well done. And grab your knees, your shins, your ankles, whatever you can. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch over. Take a breath in. And then unravel your spine, lifting up and tall. So I'm just going to move back a little bit. Pick up your right foot, step it over, flex your left foot, right hand behind your back and lifting yourself up nice and tall. Left hand reaches up. Start twisting from the lumbar spine, thoracic spine. When you can, you hook your elbow and then continue twisting through cervical spine to look over the right shoulder. We're just going to stay here for 5 breaths in and out. And allow your breath to guide you a little bit deeper into this twist. So generally, guys, any kind of twisting action around the belly helps with digestive system, detoxing. So that's why it's so invaluable to put twists into any of your classes or your routines. They don't have to be crazy, hectic twists. This is a really good one to do right here. Take a breath and slowly release. And now from here, you're going to take that right leg and pull your right foot up towards your left hip so that your knees are basically stacking one on top of the other. So yeah, that's it. And then see if you can still keep your bum bones down and you can start to walk yourself forward. And if you can rest your head towards your knee. Otherwise, you can do mashed potato hands and rest your head down this way. This is called the half shoelace. So it's a really lovely release for that right deep hip. Make sure that your knees feel okay. Staying here for just a few more breaths in and out. And anytime you let your body fold over like this, it's such a wonderful way to feel your breath travel across your upper back. And on your next breath, walk your hands up, rolling all the way up. Use your hands to help you unfold that leg and stretch it all the way out. Maybe just give the knees a little bit of a shake. And then pick up your left foot, step it over, flex the right foot, left hand behind your back, reach up. Starting to move into your twist, lumbar spine, thoracic spine, and then cervical spine. And once again, 5 breaths in and out. Feeling the gentle twist coming through the spine. Feeling that soft ringing action around your midsection, around your abdomen. Open up nice and wide across your heart. And on your next breath, releasing slowly back to the front. And then bringing that left foot right up next to the hip. Let your knees stack one on top of the other. And then, depending on how it feels for you, you can walk forward, resting your head down. And just coming into the half shoelace just for a moment. Bring your awareness to the back of your ribs. And start to visualize your heart and your lungs, giving them some space. And on your next breath, walking your hands all the way up slowly, and then help yourself to unfold, stretching your legs out, and once again, just giving those knees a little bit of a shake. So pull the flesh of your bum out the back, lifting your spine up straight, bend your knees if you need to, and just bringing your hands in front of you with the elbows bent. Start to open the arms to the side and squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then bring your hands all the way around to the front and let the shoulder blades glide wide, so round your upper back. And again, opening your arms. Think about pushing your chest forward gently. And then bringing your hands to the front, feeling that rounding of the back. And now come and settle in the middle so you have a lengthened neutral spine and your arms are nice and stable. Squeeze the ankles together. Double breath as we rotate to the right. Inhale, center. Double breath to the left. Inhale, grow taller. So it's not a bouncing, jarring action. It's a squeezing action. And this is just taking our twist up a notch so that we're not using our arms to bring us into this rotation. We've created mobility, and now this is our opportunity to start connecting into the torso. Grow taller. One more time each way. Last time. Center, hold it, and release. Turn to lie on your right side. Make a little pillow with your arm or use an actual pillow if you need. Bend both your knees in front of you a little bit. Pick up your right ankle and foot. Hold onto it with your top hand. And then before you start pulling backwards, just tilt your pubic bone a little bit forward, and you might already be getting quite a strong stretch here, in which case you can stay. Otherwise, you can start pulling the knee backwards a little bit to increase the stretch. Guys, the other thing is that if you have tight muscles or iliotibial band down the side of the leg, there's a good possibility that your knee wants to lift a little bit. Don't force it down. You know, if it wants to go down, if you're able to go down comfortably and keep your leg in parallel, then great. But please don't force it, because that's where you could actually start to aggravate the knee, which we don't want. Stay here for just a few more seconds. And on your next breath, release. Just overlap your knees for a moment, placing your hand onto the shelf of your hip, chin up, shoulders down, bottom oblique is connected. And now just take the top leg only to extend it out, flexing that foot so you're pushing energy through the heel. And in your mind's eye, can you create that long, straight line down your body so that your leg is not hinging forward? You want to keep the hip open and you want to keep the glute heels engaged at the back. Start to lower your leg towards the floor, but don't touch. And then breathe out as your leg comes up, and you tighten the underneath oblique. Bringing the leg down. Using your breath, feel that little squeeze at the side of the hip. Now keep going at your own pace. Start to become aware if your leg is trying to sneak forward from your body. If your leg is sneaking forward, it's just giving you some information that your hip flexor is dominant. Your hip flexor is trying to take over. So as much as possible, keeping your leg in that long, straight line. And it's not going to be a massive range. Because I'm asking you to tighten up the underneath oblique, it means that you're going to be isolating the side bum muscle. And because our leg is in parallel, it's not able to come that high up. If you're cranking your leg up, it means that either you're tilting your hips, rolling forward or back, or you've gone into ballet dancer's turnout. So keep yourself in parallel. And now let's do one more time. Lifting your leg up, and we stay there, and you hold it. It's an isometric contraction. Bottom oblique working, energy through your crown, energy through the top heel. We stay for 3, 2, 1. Point the toe, bend your knee in, and give your tushies just a little bit of a rub. Good. Bring your knees up a little bit higher. Hold on to the back of your neck gently. 1 thoracic rotation, lifting your arm. Look up. Open up across the chest, and I've got to bend my elbow, otherwise I'm going to hit the wall, but you can keep your elbows straight if you've got the space. And remember that you can slide your knees and hips if you need to, as long as it feels good on your body. Stay here for another 3, 2, 1, and then bringing the arm all the way back and to the front. Good. Push your hand onto the floor and just come up so that you're going to be resting on your forearm here. Knees are stacked, but you can split the feet slightly. And you're going to take your left arm, reach it up and back as you open up the chest. And then on your breath, imagine that you're going to do thread the needle, but we're not going to stay there. And again, inhale, reach up and back. And then rounding the spine, a little bit of thread the needle. Let's do one more time, reaching up and back. And breathing out. And this time, see if you can put that left forearm down. You might need to roll the hips and knees a little bit. Relaxing into the back of the neck. And just getting a little bit of an extra stretch and opening underneath that left shoulder blade. Maybe along the left side of the body. Taking one more breath in. And then exhale, unravel. Bringing yourself all the way up. And then push yourself up. Swing your feet all the way around to the other side. And you're going to be lying now on your left side. Knees a little bit bent. Cradle your head. Pick up your top leg and hold onto your foot or your ankle. Get a little bit of a tilt of the pelvis so your lower abs are engaged. And then if you want an extra stretch, you can start pulling that thigh back very softly. Keep breathing. And just notice on your own body if one side feels tighter than the other. And also notice maybe your alignment of the one side. Maybe one knee wanted to lift up and the other one's parallel. Stay here for just another breath in and out. And then release. Just stack your knees. Place your hand onto the shelf of your hip. So chin up, shoulders down. Remember the underneath oblique. And then take your top leg and extend it out long. Flex your foot. Stay here just for a moment as you set up your alignment. Try not to let that leg swing in front of you. Lower your leg without letting it rest. And then lifting the leg up and tighten the underneath oblique. So as you do your side lying legs, we're focusing on these little side bum muscles, gluteus medius. And really important stabilizing muscles for the lower back and also for the sacroiliac joint, which unfortunately a lot of women actually struggle with the SIJ. And that's purely because of the shape of our pelvis, and also if you have had kids as well, then those ligaments can become a little bit lax. So it's really important to maintain this strength here. And let's just take a few more. Waking up that side bum. Double check for yourself that you're not swinging the leg forward. Last two. Last one. Lift your leg up and stay there. Isometric contraction. Make sure that you're breathing. Lengthen through the crown of your head and really push energy out through the heel of the foot. And point your toe, bend your knee, and give your bottoms a little bit of a rub. All right, let your knees come up a bit higher. Cradle your neck. Right arm reaches forward. Let's do one thoracic rotation. Lifting your arm, look up, and then open up across the chest. Taking yourself back into a position that feels like a good stretch for you. Make sure that your lower back is happy in whatever position that you're in. And taking one more breath in. And bringing your arm all the way up. Bringing it forward and hold. Put your hand onto the floor. Press yourself up and coming onto the forearm. Knees bent. Separate the feet. Right arm reaches up and back, getting that lovely opening of the chest. And then coming into a little bit of a thread the needle. But remember, we're not going to rest here. And again, breathing in. And breathing out. One more time. Reach back. And this time, see if you can settle so that your forearm is to the ground, relaxing into the back of your neck. And notice how when you come into this twister rotation that it can change your breath. You might find it a little bit easier to breathe on one side than the other. And in your own time, unwind, reaching up, and then press onto the floor and just turn yourself onto all fours. So getting your wrists in line with your shoulders, make any adjustments you need for wrists and hands. Let's start to move into a cat stretch, rounding your spine up. Now stay in this rounded spine position. Start to move your hips back. And then bring your hips forward. And then lengthen your spine. And you can either just come to neutral, or if your back feels ready for it, you can come towards an extension. And again, round your spine. Really get that lifting of your belly and push away from your hands. Moving your hips back. Coming forward. Lengthen your spine. Lift eye line, lift heart, lift tail. Let's take 2 more rounds. Moving your hips back. So it's quite nice that there's no pressure on the wrists here. Come forward. Lengthen. Keeping the abdominals gently active. Last one. Moving your hips back. Come forward. And then return to neutral only. Tuck your toes under. And on your next breath, push into your hands and feet and just see if you can lift your knees up slightly. Just getting a moment of strength and weight bearing around all the joints of your body. Keep reaching forward through the crown of your head and backwards through your tail. Staying here for another 3, 2, 1. Let your knees come down. Stay as you are. And with a lengthened spine, move your hips back. And what I want you to start to feel is a little bit of a stretch around the bottoms of the feet, around the knuckles of the toes. If this doesn't feel good on your knees, then maybe you can't go back as far, which is absolutely fine. Stay here for one more breath in and out. And then release, relaxing your toes all the way back. And we're going to do a few little baby push-ups today. So make sure that your feet are grounded, that your lower abs are active. And I want you to bend your elbows literally an inch, no more. And just double check that you haven't dropped your chin towards the ground. Keep your chin towards your voice box. And then straighten the elbows and come back. Anchor the feet, chin to voice box. Now see if you can bend your elbows 2 inches. Hold it here for a moment to bring your awareness to your lower abs. Make sure you haven't collapsed the lumbar spine. And then straighten your arms and up you come. Chin to voice box. Bending your elbows 3 inches, keeping your feet on the ground, lower abs engaged. Now stay here and widen your back. And then press all the way up. Bending the elbows 4 inches. At any point, if you feel like you've gone too far, then just backtrack a bit. Stay here. Chin to voice box, wide back, lower abs. Feet on the ground, elbows tucked in, and then press all the way up. One more time. We're going to go as low as you can manage. Chin in, abs, elbows tucked, feet down, lower abs, take a breath. And then exhale, up you come. Open your knees wide, big toes together. Sit your hips back. Let your head come down and then walk your hands together in prayer. Bend your elbows and just taking your hands behind your neck and head for a moment. And we're just going to stay here for 5 breaths in and out. When you're ready, reaching your arms all the way forward. Separate your hands, spread your fingers out. And then pull yourself up once again onto all fours. And find your alignment. We're going to be going into a downward facing dog. So get your hands and your feet into a position that are good for you. Tuck your toes under. And we're going to start just with the hovering of the knees. Start to move your hips backwards. And then just lift your hips up halfway. So your arms and your back are straight, but your knees are bent. And then pedal the heels down. So you're giving yourself an opportunity to stretch the back of the leg, in particular the calf muscles and the Achilles tendon, but you know, we all feel it in different places depending on what's happening with our bodies and our postures. Push both heels towards the ground. You can have your knees bent or straight, whatever feels good for you. Relaxing into the back of your neck. And then just lift your heels slightly and start to walk your feet halfway forward on the mat. And then walk your hands back. You can go onto the tips of your fingers if you need. Keep your knees a little bit bent and completely just let yourself dangle like a rag doll. And if you're pretty comfortable with your balance, you can hold one hand onto each elbow. And just let the weight of your arms give you a little bit of an extra traction stretch on your spine. And if you're really comfortable here, you might even want to straighten your knees. It's going to intensify the pull along the back of your legs. Taking one more breath in and out. Then releasing your arms and roll your way up into a standing position. Coming all the way upright. Pause for a moment so you can focus your gaze, find your balance, rolling your shoulders all the way back and around. And then stay here for a moment. You're going to breathe in as you reach both hands all the way up. And then exhale and open your arms nice and wide. So I'm just going to turn so face you so you can see what I'm doing. And again, breathing in, reaching up. And exhale. Now on this last one, we're going to do cactus arms. So you're going to breathe in, reach up, and then bend your knees, bend your elbows so the hands are facing forward like a cactus, and you're going to lift up through your chest. So you're going into a little bit of an arch of the spine, and then straighten your arms and reach up. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, gentle arch of the spine, cactus arms, and reaching all the way up. So this is a standing back extension we're doing today. And one more time, bending the knees, bend the elbows, lift up through the heart, and exhale, reach. Open your arms nice and wide, bringing them all the way down beside you. And we're going to do one roll down now. Take a breath in. Exhale, look down. Rolling forward through your spine. Soften your knees. Letting yourself come all the way down. Placing fingertips to the ground. Bending your knees. Walk your hands just a little bit forward so you can get the palms of your hands flat. And then lift your heels slightly and start to walk your toes just a little bit back. So once again, we're coming into our downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. Push both heels towards the ground. Doesn't matter if the heels touch, doesn't matter if the legs are straight. And then lower your knees towards the ground. Releasing your feet back, and then sit up, shake out your wrists, and please come into a seated position. You can use a block if you need. Sitting in a position that feels good for your knees and for your hips. Pulling the flesh of your bum out your back again. Let your hands settle to your knees. Make any final adjustments that you need. And just as we started, allow your gaze to soften or perhaps to close your eyes completely. And allowing your lips to stay closed as you breathe in and out through your nose. Noticing with each inhale the cool air running over your top lip. Noticing with each exhale the warm air running out over your top lip. Finding a gentle rhythm for yourself. Once again, bringing your awareness down to your belly. Allowing your belly to respond to each inhale and each exhale. Taking a moment just to tune into how you feel. Taking the next few moments to absorb, integrate, and assimilate all the movements, all your breath, allowing them to settle into your body and into your energy. Taking one more full, deep inhale, just filling your body with oxygen, with energy. Open your mouth and sigh. Slowly blinking your eyes open, bringing yourself back into your space, letting your hands come down beside you, palms facing up, as you just sweep the arms up and around, reaching all the way up. And then exhale, open your arms wide as you clear that little bit of space for yourself for the rest of your Sunday, rolling the shoulders back and around. Beautiful job, guys. Let me just turn on the sound, see if anybody has any questions or any comments.
Thank you, Renee.
Great. You are so welcome. How's everybody feeling?
I loved that class.
Fantastic.
I loved it.
Awesome. And everything felt good on the body.
Yeah, I just loved how it flowed.
Awesome. Yeah, because I mean, a lot of it as well, you can take your sort of classic Pilates exercises, chest lift, pelvic curl, and you can almost just create like a little bit of a sequence, you know, when people get comfortable
Like
with
a
the
little
sequence.
dance.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah.
you know, and then you don't even have to think about it. Your body just naturally knows where to go. And then you can bring a little bit more focus onto the breath and the rhythm and the quality as well.
I think that's amazing. You know what, the one, the half shoelace?
Yes.
Did you say that was a hip opener?
Yeah, so for a lot of people as well, like being able to take your leg, let's see where you can see me, some people cannot actually get their thighs overlapped one, especially men, okay? Anybody with the hips. So the leg that's bent on top, you're going to get a release along the outside of the hip, around the acetabulum. So
right, outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was getting it on the other leg, the hamstring of the leg, the long leg,
yes.
obviously.
Yeah, so as soon as you lean forward, then you go into the back line of the body and the hamstring. So that's the half shoelace. And then if you bent both legs, it's the full shoelace, which would then be like both hips getting quite a deep stretch.
But it's not good for the knees for people, is it? That for a lot of people, that one.
For a lot of people, which is why I pretty much generally only teach the half shoelace. Yeah. Because that's still like manageable for most people. For some people, bending both knees is just like a no-go zone.
Yeah. It's a bit like the pigeon in a way, isn't it? It's a bit like
Yes, well, that's exactly what you're doing. Exactly. Any of those piriformis stretches, etc.
Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute.
All right. Okay, and everybody else felt good? Katrina, how were your feet with some of the toe stretches and stuff?
It was awesome.
Okay.
I think my issues are coming from here. Yeah. So that stretch that we did when we were on our side and we bent over, that was awesome. Because it comes from down here and it goes over here. That's the tightness. And I think that's what all this is on top of my calves. It's what's causing the plantar. So if I keep rolling my calves on this tortured item,
And is it helping?
yes. The last 2 days, I've actually got out of bed where I could walk properly without hobbling to the loo. So,
Yeah. So, you know, Katrina, it's quite interesting what you were saying. So are you saying that this one felt like a really good release for you, this one?
yes.
So that is actually the spiral line of the fascia, that spiral line, which is interesting because that goes underneath the foot and up the other side. It's almost like the stirrup of a horse's saddle. So
Yeah.
oftentimes plantar fascia, we think it's the back line of the body only. By the sounds of it, if this was like a really nice release for you, it could also be the spiral line of fascia is giving you hassles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, keep doing what you're doing. Like, all of it is going to help. But it's quite interesting that you felt that release there.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Cool. Good. And
Well,
Alessandra, you all good?
All good. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to send you the link on this. And then just a reminder, we've got one more day focusing on water and focusing on the hot drink in the morning, first thing in the morning, if you're choosing to do that. And then on day 5, I'm going to add in another little tidbit.
Amazing.
All right.
Yeah, fabulous.
Fantastic, guys. Have an awesome, awesome Sunday.
Yes, you too.